How's everybody doing? Welcome back to the Minnesota Vikings Skol Side podcast. As you guys see by title, we have a 5-round mock draft in today's video. However, the Vikings in my mock draft, they're going to be super aggressive and trade up in the first round. And I'll explain my reasonings on why I think the Vikings need to trade up in the first round and go be aggressive and go get their guy. But I have a Vikings 5-round mock draft. They trade up. They played a little aggressive. Let me know what you guys think down below. These are a ton of fun to do, but hey, this 5-round mock draft, the Vikings only end up getting 3 players. But if we would get these 3 players and be aggressive, I would count it as a win on draft day. So excited for the NFL draft. Starts this Thursday. Thank you guys so much for the support. Let's get right into it. All right, so breaking news. The Minnesota Vikings are trading with the Carolina Panthers. And it is a head scratcher to some Minnesota Vikings fans as Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah ships the 12th overall pick and their 46th overall pick and moves up to 6th overall. Now about this trade, when I was trying to find teams who the Vikings could trade up with, that was kind of my first thought process. I looked at both of the New York teams, the Jets and the Giants. I don't think either of them would trade their 5th or 7th overall, the 5th and the 7th overall pick, which is where I think the Vikings would need to go. But I do think the Panthers, in this year's draft, I really don't think quarterbacks are going to go. I don't think a quarterback's going to go in the top 20. I think it's a lot of smoke. I don't think teams are thrilled about these quarterbacks. I think it's just a lot of the media trying to, because, quarterbacks, they get hype around the draft. Last year's draft was phenomenal because we had 5 quarterbacks in the top 15, and they're flying off the board. They're franchise-changing guys. These guys this year, not really. But with this NFL draft, I think a lot of people are undervaluing the top of the draft. I think you have, for the Vikings situation, I think you have 3 guys. I think it's Kyle Hamilton, Sauce Gardner, and Derek Stingley. Those are the 3 guys who really would immediately be a starter for the Vikings. And they would immediately be impactful starters. I mean, they would be Pro Bowlers rookie year. That's how highly I have evaluated those 3. And then I also don't think those 3 will be there at 12. Like I was saying about the quarterbacks not going, I don't think a quarterback's going to go in the first top 10. So I think the Vikings need to be aggressive, trade up, and then bam, the Vikings do trade up with the Carolina Panthers, and they end up drafting Derek Stingley Jr., the corner out of LSU. In my mock draft, Ahmad Gardner ended up going 4th overall. Either one of those 2. I had a decision between Derek Stingley and Kyle Hamilton. I just think Derek Stingley, I think he's worth a top 5 pick. I think he's worth a top 10 pick, no doubt. The Vikings, I just think there's no chance that Kyle Hamilton, Sauce Gardner, or Derek Stingley fall to 12. I think there's a 0% chance that happens. Just to what I'm hearing from reports, I don't think quarterbacks are going to go early. The Vikings need to trade up. And I know it hurts getting rid of your 46th overall pick in this draft. I mean, obviously you're taking away your 2nd rounder, but I think it's worth it. Trade up, and now we got the Vikings' 3rd round pick. All right, at 77th overall, the Vikings would select Dylan Parham, the interior offensive lineman from Memphis. Dylan Parham, he's 6'3", 315 pounds. I talked about him once on this channel before. He's from Memphis. He had amazing Senior Bowl tape. He's one of those guys where I think he'll be a 2nd round, 3rd round pick, and he could be an immediate starter somewhere. And I think with the Vikings situation, I think he helps him out so well. We did add interior offensive lineman this offseason. Obviously nobody that extreme, but or that like Pro Bowl caliber level, but we did bring in some veterans where he could sit behind, Ezra and Chris Reed and those types of guys and just kind of learn from them. Obviously this is your 3rd round pick. You don't expect him to start right away, but if we're hitting November and there's a couple injuries and we just need more interior offensive line depth, he is a great choice. He is a phenomenal choice, frankly, and he is rated great on PFF over the years. He's always sitting around an 80 overall grade. In 2020, he was the 10th best overall guard in the entire country. There's 2 guards on each team, on each starting offensive lineman. He was the 10th best overall. He is somebody, if the Vikings don't end up trading that 46th overall pick, I'd take him there too. Just keep your eyes out. Dylan Parham, if it's the 2nd, 3rd round on Friday, he is a guy who I think the Vikings, they should have him circled as maybe they could trade up again into the 3rd round and go nab him, but he's a guy they should definitely consider. Here's my kind of sleeper guy, the Vikings in the 5th round, who I want them to take. So obviously they don't have a 4th round pick this year. So my 5-round mock draft, they're only having 3 selections because I have them trading up, making sure they get their guy at 6 overall. But then I have them taking, so I didn't know who this was going into this. I'm not going to lie. I had to do some research on 5th round draft choices, and Daniel Bellinger from San Diego State University. He's a 6'5", 253-pound tight end, and I'm not gonna lie to you, this guy is all measurements. You turn on his college tape, he's got sure hands, he's got nothing that's gonna really pop off the screen, mainly because they didn't really use him at San Diego State like they should have, in my opinion. But also, the reason I like him so much, he's a really good complement to Irv. Irv's obviously improved his run blocking game, and he's improved the tenacity side of his game. I think he plays with more of an edge than he did in his rookie year, and obviously him coming off injury, he's gonna be playing with a chip on his shoulder the whole year. But as a backup, to bring in a big 6'5", 250-pound tight end, as maybe he could sit down in the depth chart as a 3rd-string tight end, work his way up, learn the running scheme that Kevin O'Connell's going to bring in. And also, that's also a point, this could be a Kevin O'Connell dream. To have a tight end develop under a system for a year or two while they still have Irv Smith, an up-and-coming tight end. I just think it's an options thing. I think it's a Kevin O'Connell. I think he could be experimenting with dual tight end systems and try to develop Daniel Bellinger. Obviously, this is a 5th-round guy, so he's not going to be going flying off draft boards. Keep your eyes out for him. So my mock draft had the Vikings trading up to the 6th overall pick, selecting Derek Stingley. I think that's the only chance they have to get him. Then selecting Dylan Parham, the interior offensive lineman from Memphis. And then Daniel Bellinger, the tight end from San Diego State. Let me know what you guys think down below. Skol Vikes.